my friends and I always had this random conversation about like, what would you do if there was ever a zombie apocalypse? Like, what's the first thing that you would do? Because I feel like my friends had these like fight or flight responses where my friends like, yeah, I would go and like raid fridges and get like knives and stuff and like fight them off. And I feel like I'd just be like, nope. Like hide in a fridge or a cupboard or something. I just feel like, no thanks. It's not,
you know. Damn, yeah, I think the first thing I would do is I'll call the richest person that I know. Because they got a private jet and then we can fly like Antarctica or some shit.
But where there's zombies everywhere.
But like, there's already no humans in Antarctica, so there's probably gonna be no zombies there. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. Like, where can you go where these motherfuckers aren't? It's like ocean. Okay, ocean places.
Nobody.
Where's nobody? Or I would go to a small island like Nauru or something.
On the island by yourself.
Yeah, and like be in the island that you want to be in. You know what I mean? Like, because it has to be like you and some homies. It can't just like be you. If it's a zombie apocalypse and I'm the only one, oh yeah, let them eat me.
Yeah. Oh, so what they're saying is just get a bunch of rich friends and then make sure that you have an island to escape to.
Yeah, and they got the arts. They're rich, so they got the guns already. We'll just blow some heads off, and we have fun doing it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a spiritual experience. Just like, yeah.
But what if they're like mutant zombies? Do you know what I mean? Like then they can like swim when they work.
Then you're
at the bottom of the ocean floor, that kind of stuff.
Yo, then you're fucked.
Then we're done. Then we're
I mean, space.
Yeah.
Space. I mean, you know, it's funny. Like, damn it.
Fine, call up Elon Musk and be like,
yo, because if they're mute, because I seen this thing on Instagram too. It was talking about like if it was a species like animals versus humans. There's animals and insects versus humans. Who do you think will win, right? And then people are like, oh, us, because we can like bomb them or we can shoot them and stuff. But I'm like, okay, you can shoot all the freaking lions, you can shoot the giraffes and shit like that. But what the fuck are you gonna do with the mosquitoes and shit? You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be like millions coming at you at one time. Like, bro, it doesn't matter what suits you wear, you're fucked. Bro, fire ants, mosquitoes, those termites, like you're fucked.
Yeah, that's true. Because you can't just bomb match that they just we were somewhere the other day and we were standing on ants and like the ants, one would die but then they would like eat and then like clear the ground. What's going on? Animals are crazy. I think nature's also crazy.
Bro, nature's insane.
Like, I think going into like the nature versus nurture conversation, like, do you think, like for people, I think we're going towards people.
Yeah.
Do you think people are like a product of more nature or more like more nurture?
I think people are more of a product. I mean, it depends on the person, right? But like, yeah, for me, like I feel like I gravitate towards nature.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know. It's just days. What do you think?
Yeah. I feel like I change my mind about it a lot because there's moments where I'm like, oh, this is definitely like nature.
Yeah.
And then also moments where I'm like, oh, this is definitely something you got from your mom or your dad.
Yeah.
Like this is built up in your like childhood, like where you grew up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it alternates, but yeah, it's great because I always think of all those like serial killer documentaries and then you're kind of like, yeah, but it's not human nature to want to murder people.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what though? It may be though, because like before, and my dad and I were just talking about this conversation, but like before, that's what they used to do: hunt and gather, just murder the shit out of each other. And then just in like the 12th century, yeah,
you can't have that sheep.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna freaking burn your body and all your family if you don't give me the sheep. So I think like, yeah, it used to be like that, and it just stopped in like the 12th century or something with the Vikings. But like, it was cool to do it before. And then if you think about it, this world that we're built on is built off of violence. Because if you go down the street and you leave your car just on the side of a road, what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna give you a ticket. If you do it again, what's gonna happen? The police are gonna get you. If you do it again, what's gonna happen? They're gonna freaking beat the shit out of you, take you to jail, and then it'll always result in violence. So, I don't know. Maybe we are meant to.
Crazy, yeah. To think about that. Because I think also like, I think it also leads to the conversation of like, I guess dealing with like anger, like when people are super violent, is it from like a lack of like allowing yourself to be angry, or is it, you know, should we allow more space to be angry, or
I think with that is just is no stopping it because it's always an equal and opposite. Like it's always going to be super lovely people, and there's always going to be super weird people.
Yeah.
Like it just has to be, because it's like a polar opposite, right? You've got like, yeah, it's always the opposite. You got like black, and then the opposite of black is white. You got freaking every color, everything has an opposite. So you're gonna have those crazy people.
Do you like serial killers?
Not really. I don't really get into the serial killer things, but I love like mass murderers, I guess you could say.
Like World War, like
Yeah.
was 1 and 2. Okay.
Because just the audacity to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take over the fucking world. Like the entire world, bro. Like, and I'm not like no cap. I'm gonna take over the entire world. Like just that audacity, you're like Genghis Khan.
Sheesh, this guy.
Like, you can knock him all you want, but this motherfucker tried, bro. Like,
Okay.
you know?
I get that. Wow. No, that's actually crazy because they dip into like the psychology of them so much.
Yeah.
Like, and it brings you just such a different perspective of like human nature and the same conversation about like nature versus nurture. But yeah, it's so interesting to see how people's brains works and like the commonalities between like everyday people and serial killers, or like people like Adolf Hitler, like sociopaths or like narcissistic sociopaths, like people that are almost raised in the same way or come from like this similar backgrounds, almost always end up with like specific tendencies of things. It just it's like so interesting.
I mean, yeah, they're very, very interesting people. Like,
What's the worst person you've ever met?
the weirdest person I've ever met?
No, like the most interesting character. Like,
You know what? It was this guy. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna call him C. Okay. So, because he's actually well known. So in Bali, when I was in Bali, there's this dude. I used to always see him in Uluwatu in this like surf village, right? And every time he'd just randomly pop up. You know, like in the movies when people just like poof appear. Like he's that type of guy, right?
Yeah.
Randomly pops up at the weirdest moments all the time. Just where I am. I can be on the other side of Bali. He just pops up, and this dude's always like, "Did you get in the ocean today?" And I'm like, nah, I didn't get in there. And he's just like pissed. I can see it in his body language. Like he was saying I'm like disgracing my like my nature of being a human because I didn't get in the ocean because I'm a Scorpio. And Scorpios are supposed to get into the ocean and surf every day. So like I was like lacking in all these things and I was gonna die like and all this shit just because I didn't get in the ocean. And he was dead serious. Yeah, and he had like a kid that was like 13. It was just running around naked all the time. Like you're a little bit too old to just like run around naked. It's like a little girl just running around naked. But this chick can like probably starting to have her period soon. Yeah, they were like so spiritual, you know. And I'm like, this is not cool.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Okay. I didn't know you were a Scorpio. Did you have like prior conversations with him, or did he like ask you?
he probably asked me a question and act like he predicted it, but like, you know, I'm like Scorpio to Scorpio.
Well, straight starts.
You know when people do that though, you would tell them like, they're like, oh, what's your sign? And you're like, Scorpio. As soon as you're about to say Scorpio, they're like, Scorpio. You know? No,
Before you
you heard me starting to say it.
know already, like you told them what it is, and they were like, "Oh, I knew it. I knew it. You said this one time, and you had this action, and I just knew it."
Just the vibe.
Yeah, just the energy of man. Yeah.
Literally. Gosh.